Today we are having a consultations between the members of parliament and other stakeholders in regards to retabling the anti-FGM bill. This involves the cutting of female, which is an act which is very barbaric, and this act is being practiced in the different parts of the region of East Africa.
So you'll find that this is a cross-border crime, and therefore this law was supposed to address that aspect and to ensure that we have harmonized policies, measures, mechanisms, and we are able to work together as an East African community.
Want to have a community that embraces a complete new cultural appreciation, so that so the coming in of Somalia, and as you said, 90% of this is practiced in Somalia. It's of course a fresh challenge. There are so many pieces of legislation that may require recalibration, because as we expand the community, the context changes. The priorities also keep on changing, and that's the work of the Assembly.
Although there is a fact that Uganda already enacted a law against FGM, there is now cross-border FGM, whereby Ugandans cross to the neighboring countries like Kenya to do an FGM. And of course, a lot of members from the East African region have petitioned the East African Parliament to have this bill tabled, and will not be able to allow such an act to continue happening in the different parts of the region.
We passed the law in March 2017. The Assembly overwhelmingly passed the law, and we did not get any feedback as to why it was not assented to. We were also not able to follow up because our term lapsed in June.
Would love to table this bill. One would need the political support and then harmonization. Once this is harmonized, it will mean that we shall have zero FGM in Eastern Africa.
We have to go to the communities, speak with the elders, train them, educate them, so as to touch the very important part of the practice, which is the culture.
And this is why it is important as the East African region to have one piece of legislation which should be domesticated to govern or help us end this violence against.
So that was part of the reason. Yeah, so I'm hopeful that since this assembly has some time on its hands, it will be able to follow.
One of the suggestions is to set up, I would say, an office or a department that is charged with monitoring and foreseeing the implementation. So some of the issues were, how do you just put up an office to only foresee FGM, yet there are other SRHR issues, teenage pregnancy.